Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Shafaradia, Cb17175, and in this video, I would like to share a story about Sarah. So, who's actually is Sarah? So, Sarah actually works in a company that specializes complete various technology project in KL. So, the story begins when one day Sarah was assigned to develop applications for a new client, and she decided to accept it. So, but before she begins the developments or she begins started the project, she needs to know all the process and how she wants to develop the projects. So Sarah decided to review software development life cycles, or calls as SDLC, for guidance and on how to implement her project. So SDLC is actually a methodology that defines the process of development of software, and there are few stages that Sarah needs to know. So she wants to follow the SDLC, but she needs to understand each of the stages in SDLC before giving instruction to the whole team. So now we look at what is the stages and what is all the stages, what happened actually in each of the stages. So we started with the first phase, which is planning. So planning is actually to roughly define the software and to execute a feasibility study to check whether it's achievable or not. So what actually happens during planning is to know what would the software be, to know what would the software do, or for a simple word is to know the requirements of the software. So in the next phase is analysis. So what will Sarah and her team do in analysis is where Sarah and her team will grab all the things from planning phase and research it, and after that document it all. So the goal of phase 2 is actually to grab everything in planning and to do research and document it. Okay, so after they collect all the requirements, after they analyze all the requirements, they will create a document which is software requirement specifications, or SRS. So next phase, the third phase, is design. So the goals of design phase is actually to create an actionable plan for each defined requirements that will be implemented later. So for example, like the client want to have a very friendly user system. So in this phase, they need to design on how they want to do the system to be friendly user, something like that. Okay, so next phase is implementations, or we call it as development. So in this development phase, this is the longest phase in the SDLC model. So what actually the goals of development? So the goals of development phase is to deliver a software system that meet all the requirements defined by the client that the team collect before this. Okay, so here are some tasks for the team that might do in this phase, which is for example, like operation team. So they will set up the project where they want the development environments, how the development environment wants to look like, or if they want to use version control like GitHub or something. And for developers, basically in this phase they will start their coding and implement the product. For designers, they will decide to make the system look more beautiful, for example, something like that. So we continue to the next phase, which is testing. So testing in SDDLC is to ensure that the implementation of the software from the development phase meets all the customer requirements and works as expected and doesn't have any bugs, for example. So the goals of this phase is to provide end-to-end integration software that will carefully tested and continuously fixed to ensure the best quality that they can have. Alright, so the next phase, probably the last phase. So in this phase it calls as maintenance. So in this phase actually the software has been released to the customer and customer already use it. So the goals of maintenance is to provide support to the customer and ensure that the software can work expected in very long time, so they can use the software in a long time period, so something like that. So I think that is all about SDLC. So I think Sarah now already clear with the SDLC process and she is ready to give instruction to her team. So I think that is all from me, and I hope that you guys enjoy listening to these videos, and thank you very much.